In addition to our spelling connection, we also teach the grammar workshop from Sallier is a great textbook to help students to understand, proper grammar, mechanics, even understanding what makes a good sentence or a complete sentence, understanding what a subject and predicate is, knowing when to use certain punctuation marks, to avoid run-on sentence, fragments, things like that. So this is a great book. And they do have different levels, verbs, nouns. The vocabulary here, we teach vocabulary. It's also from Sallier. And the vocabulary worksheet teaches the students not only just the vocabulary, but parts of speech. And in the assessment, the students will have to know when to use the accents inside. They have to identify where the pronunciation is stressed and where they should insert the accent. It supports learning how to recognize the different parts of speech. So in order for us to become proficient writers, we have to be able to spell. We have to have good grammar. We have to develop a strong vocabulary bank. And then we should have a good foundation on to begin writing proficiently. So it requires spelling, grammar, vocabulary to become a proficient writer. Moving on, and also requires be able to read, because you start analyzing how text is structured, how the author writes, and that is what we want the kids to learn how to develop a synthesizing mind, to be able to see and understand how it's all put together, analyzing it. And so when they're reading, they should not just be reading. They should be able to study and analyze how the author is structured, how the author structured his message, whether it is what's the author's purpose, the elements of the story. So the student should be able to have that. And I prefer nonfiction because I want students to be able to apply it to real life lessons, and that can have a connection to real life. So Xander Beloser is the same company publisher as the spelling, and it also has assessments that supports the chapters. For math, we are using this Encore Mathematics. It is aligned to the Florida Common Core standards. It is for middle school, grade 6. And the other, for social studies, we're using world history, and the publisher is Studies Weekly. And science is physical science, also with Studies Weekly. And it's kind of cool, instead of a textbook, it comes in a newspaper format. So it's something different. And they also come with a TE book with assessment too, as well. So I do assess my students, and the students do take a national norm test at the end of the year. And in the past, like I said, my home education, my homeschoolers do outperform their grade level standards, their scores on the national norm test. The last subject that I teach on a regular basis is technology. I do believe in students that they should learn how to learn home row keys and how to properly type without looking. And the importance of that is be able to type and write essays and research papers and focusing on more creativity and the flow of their thinking and their writing versus worrying about where is the letter A, where are the U, the T, the R, the W. So every time we look down, we're interrupting our train of thought and our creativity, and it stops that flow. So if students learn how to properly type without looking, it will reduce their time in doing the work, and it also develops better writing because they're able to focus on their creativity and the topic versus looking down. So there you have it, folks. I hope this was meaningful for you. And you know, if you want, you can always follow us on YouTube at My Schoolhouse LLC, Facebook, and Instagram. If you have any questions you want to ask, you know, I'll be happy to answer them. Just leave a comment. Thank you.